There have been a big demand for people to look for free education around the world. Today I'm coming with the information, and this I call extended video about free education in Norway. I made this video previous time, but people have been asking over and over for more details. What is the best way to answer all those questions than making extended version of free education in Norway? In this video, I'm going to give you a proper guidance. What level of education, the language of instructions, how do you apply for those schools or for those programs? If you get admission, what are the processes? As I said, it is a free education. If it is free, is it zero or you have to pay something? And what about the cost of living? We are going to answer all those questions. But what if you get admission? How do you go and get the visa? If you get the visa, are you allowed to work as an international student? If yes, how many hours? Then, if you study in Norway, when you finish, will you have the chance to continue to have a professional life in Norway, or you have to go back to your home countries? So all those are the important questions which I'm going to answer in this video. This video is very particular to help you currently if you are in high school, if currently you are studying bachelor's degree, or you have finished your bachelor's degree, or you just finished your master's and you want to go for doctorate studies. You want to figure out how are you going to have free education in Norway in particular. Because there are some people who want to come to study in America to pay for their own education. People want to go to Canada to go and pay for their own education. Personal, if I'm in your shoes, I'll choose to go for a free education first. While I'm there, I'll figure out for other opportunities. If my dream is to come to America or to go to Canada, I'll do that after being in Norway. So if you are a parent right now, you are going to make a decision where you want to help your child to go to study. Instead of paying for tuition and fees over 25,000, 30,000 to study in America, or to go to study in Canada or in England or in other countries, consider this video as one of the videos to give you a training, to give you advice, parent to parent, on how you can be able to save money by going to study in Norway. Welcome everyone. Sorry for that long introduction. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo EBM from EBM Scholars. If today is your first time to come across to my YouTube channel, you are in the right place. The channel for global opportunities, the channel for center of opportunities around the world and inspiration. We are here to share our ways on how we got education for free in the Western countries, but how are we going to adjust the life to conquer the world, to be able to be very good immigrants, productive one in these countries we live, but also never to forget where we come from. I want to do two things. I want to ask you two things. Number one, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EBM Scholars. But share this video. If you are going to share the videos about comedy, videos about sports and entertainments, about gossip, why can't you also share the opportunity? By sharing this opportunity, whether you are the one looking for or you are not, you never know the other side. Apart from sharing the entertainment, the video about Davido or Wizkid or Diamond or Alikiba or any person you want to share, also share some good information about education. Let's make this video educative and viral to go across the nation or across the globe so that other people can be able to succeed and use this information. So let's go back to start where we left off from the previous video. Education in Norway is free of charge. That doesn't care whether you are Norwegian or you're from Scandinavia countries, whether you are from Europe, whether you are from Africa, whether from America, whether from Asia, whether you're from whatever country you're coming from or whatever region you're coming from, it doesn't matter. Education policy in Norway for public education, for instance, in the United States, public education from grade school to high school is free of charge. Norway took it to the next level, took it up to the PhD. So from kindergarten to PhD for public schools, public education, it is zero tuition. You don't pay tuition or any related fees. Does that make sense? I know for some people it is very scary to hear that you don't pay tuition and fees. If you come to study in the United States, most of the international students will be paying 15,000. That is the cheapest college you'll be able to go. But most of them, they're about 20,000 average. Tuition and fees, that is apart from cost of living. Tuition and fees alone. But in Norway, it is free of charge. You don't pay even a single dollar to pay for tuition for any public school you are going. Whether you are Norwegian, whether you are Nigerian, whether you're from Ghana, whether you're Tanzanian, whether you're from Kenya, whether you're from South Africa, whether you're from India, it doesn't matter. Your nationality, there is no restriction. Oh, this person comes from Canada, this person comes from China. It doesn't matter. It's free 100% from tuition. You don't pay tuition, you don't pay fees. Let us start with that one. So, majority of you want to go to study in Norway. So, let's start with from kindergarten to high school. It is practically difficult to take your child to go to study on those levels because you must be there as a parent. So, let's talk about bachelors and the masters and the doctorate. So, we are not talking about grade school from primary up to 12th grade, which is high school. Let's talk about college, bachelors, masters, and doctorate. So, in Norway, the language of the country, the mother tongue, the national language is Norwegian. That is their language. The medium of instruction from kindergarten to bachelor's degree mostly is in Norwegian. There are few universities and few programs which are taught in English for bachelor's degree. For masters and doctorate, there are so many programs are taught in English. So if you don't speak Norwegian, you apply for masters and PhD, which there are so many programs, you can apply and go there, you will find so many programs. But for those who want to study bachelor's degree, you will be limited for the list of colleges which provide degrees, bachelor's degree in English language. In this video, I'm not going to mention what university, but in this video, go to the description of this video. I'm posting the list of all bachelor's universities, which have bachelor's degrees in English language. English language is the medium of instruction. There are just like 8 to 11 programs which are taught in English language. So if you are the parent, you want to take your child there. So don't say, I want my child to study electrical engineering. What if that electrical engineering degree is not part of the free education, is not part of the program taught in English language? You want to study, let's say, information technology. You want to study business administration for your bachelor's degree, but that degree is not taught in English, so you'll be limited. So if you want to go for bachelor's degree, you have to take out your brain and put away on what I want to study. What degree? If you come with your dream, I want to study this particular program, and that program is not in English language, you'll be stuck. So look on the programs which are there. Public universities in Norway, bachelor's degree in English language. You can go to do the Google search, or you can go to the description of this video, and on the comment, I'm going to put the list of these universities. The university and the degree program offered in English. Go and apply to those ones. For masters and PhD or doctorate, that is very easy. Go to any public university in Norway. Just Google list of public universities in Norway and apply for masters in the PhD. Most of those programs, they're going to write there, but most of those, they are also taught in English language. So for that particular case, people who have bachelor's degree or master's degree have higher chances of getting into education studying in Norway than bachelor's degree, because you will be limited to the number of schools, number of programs which are taught in English language. Also, the list of masters and doctorate universities which are offering, or public universities are also going to offer in this video. I don't want to have any excuse why you cannot find the program or the school. You can go to the Google search and put it there. You can be able to find them. Apart from that, let's go to the application process. When you are going to apply, it's very simple. They have a system which you apply. You can go to a particular university and they apply directly there, but it will bring you back to, they have a central application process in Norway, where wherever you apply direct to the university will bring you to that center. You can apply no matter how many universities you want, how many programs you want. If you're applying for bachelor's degree, you need to have high school with good results. I know there are some people, they say, I ended up, maybe someone in another country, maybe it's junior high school, but I have diploma. I don't know about that. For me, I know you need to have high school with good results. That's number one, if you apply for bachelor's degree. If you're applying for masters, you need to have a bachelor degree with good results. If you apply for doctorate, you need to have masters, bachelor and masters with good results to apply for doctorate. That is something you need to know. The other thing will be similar. They used to have waiver in the English proficiency test, but for the competitive nature, most of the countries will be required to take the English proficiency test. So don't bring to me, I went to study bachelor degree or whatever this program in English language. They used to have the waiver. When you are going to apply for competitive nature, prepare yourself. Don't wait for the sympathy. Don't wait for the sorry. Don't wait, oh, you know this, you know that. While you are saying you know that, there is a guy in India smarter than you and did the English proficiency test. Or someone in Guangzhou, China already has taken the English proficiency test with good results, good GPA, and is going to apply. So prepare yourself fully equipped, not to wait for the sympathy, not to wait for the waiver. Prepare yourself. So most of the countries, you will be required to take the English proficiency test, regardless whether you studied your bachelor's degree in English language or you did high school in English language. Then you need to have resume or CV, curriculum vitae or resume, which is supposed to be written in a competitive nature. Your education, work experience, blah, 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 volunteering, whether it is paid or unpaid work experience, you have to write there. Forget about those things you are going to write, date of birth, marital status, religion, number of children. No one cares about those, my friend. Just go and put the things which matter in the application. After having the good resume, you will be required to have good recommendation letters. Whether they might ask right away or later, whatever it is, but depending on how it is, you need to have people who can be able to write a good recommendation for you. So those are some of the requirements. Obviously, you have to write the statement of purpose. Why are you applying for that particular program? Why should they admit you? Statement of purpose. Motivational letter. Motivational statement. You have to write that one. There is no application fee to apply in Norway. Or most 99% of applications in Europe, there is no application fee. That is vastly different when you apply to the United States or to Canada. You have to pay for application fee. So, you have that one, you can apply. Let's say you apply. Remember, when you apply, the deadline, most of the deadlines are in end of November. or mid of November, depending on whatever. Each university has different regulations. But after submitting, even if you don't submit all the attachment, the transcript and everything, you are given until December, I don't remember exactly the date, to submit the required documentations. You submit. When they make the decision that you have been admitted to University of Bergen, Oslo, whatever university you are going to be admitted, Tromsø, whatever it is, you need to do the following things, because the next phase is to get the visa. But before you get the visa, now they have admitted you. There are two things. There is tuition and fees on one side, then there is cost of living. In Norway is different from the United States. In the United States, you will need to have to show the bank statement to prove that you can be able to have the cost of living and tuition and fees. Then the International Student Office will give you the admission letter with I-20, immigration form number 20, to go to get the visa. But in Norway it's different. While in the United States you can use the bank statement of your brother, your relative, whatever it is, and the bank statement can come from your own country. In Norway it's different. They want you to have the bank statement average, depending on the city to city, because the cost of living from one city and the another one is different. But most of the cities is about 12,000 US dollar. The maximum city cost of that particular city might be 14,000 US dollar. So let's say majority of the universities will be told you need to have 12,000 US dollar. That amount is not supposed to be in the bank account in your country. No, they want that amount to be in any bank in Norway. So if you have a friend, you can do that. If you don't have, the best way to avoid any complications, you have to, they will give you the bank account of the university. You will deposit that money, wire transfer to that particular bank. When you wire transfer 12,000 to the university bank, the university will give you admission letter and the proof that you are able to cover the cost of living of 12,000 for the full year. So they will give that letter, which is the proof that you have the money, and then you have the admission. Those are the two important things. Then you will be told to apply for also for the accommodation, proof of accommodation, which you can have the halls of residence, or you can have dormitories, hostels, whatever it is, or you have a friend. You can do that way, just like to prove that you have applied. You have those kind of things. Once you have those one, then you will go to apply for the visa. The visa for Norway, I'll talk about that money. I'm going to talk about that money. They're not taking your money, 12,000, they're not giving you back. I will explain to you what is going to happen with that money. But the visa for Norway is a little bit expensive. It is $650. $650, that is about 14,000 Norwegian krona. So 6,000, I'm so sorry. That is about nearby 6,000 whatever Norwegian krona. So it's $6,050 you need to pay. That amount which you're supposed to pay at the embassy, it will cover the cost for also for the permit for work. So when you're given a student visa, you'll be having given the work permit, everything ready to go. So you are given at the embassy. Then at that moment, you'll be able to go to Norway. You'll be having a very high chance of being given the visa because you have been admitted to the public university with a zero tuition and fees. You have shown that you'll be able to cover the cost of living. You have shown that I have maybe 16,000 krona, which is about 14,000 US dollar or 12,000 US dollar. You have that amount. It's already in the bank account in Norway. You have proof of accommodation where you'll be staying. Then they're going to give you the visa. You'll mess up if you say, after finishing the studies, I'm not coming back here. My aim is just to disappear in Norway. Obviously, they'll deny you the visa. But if you show that your aim is to go to study there and come back to your home country, to develop your country, wherever you want to have the program, there is no reason why they will deny you the visa. And in case you have been denied the visa, obviously they will wire transfer back the money. But what happens to that money? So when you arrive in Norway, you will be given, you have the work permit, you have every document. They will give you the student ID and you get the state ID or the country ID. You get the ID in Norway. So once you have all those IDs and the required paperwork from the school, you will go to the bank and open a local bank account. You will open a bank account in Norway. Once you finish opening the account, let's say after 2 days you open, you will take that bank account, give to the university will transfer the 12,000 US dollar back to your bank account. So that money comes back to you. Why am I insisting the money comes back to you? Because this is different from German. In Germany, you will be required to send the money. When you talk about Germany, you will hear you send the money to the bank to what is called the blocked university account. You don't. When you arrive in Germany, they are not giving you back all the money. They will be giving you money in monthly basis, 1,000 each month, 1,000. So the money doesn't come back to you in a lump sum. But in Norway, they will transfer all the money. 12,000, or if you have 14,000, they will transfer all the money back to your account. So if you borrowed the money, 12, let's say 12,000, you have 6,000 from yourself, 6,000 from your parents, you can take the 6,000 back to pay back to the people. But if you borrow the money for Germany going to study for free in German, they are not going to send that money back. They'll be giving you on a monthly basis. In Norway, advantage, they'll give you money back. So you can borrow the money from your relatives to put in the account and take half of it, pay them back once they deposit the money back. That's where many students do that. Then you'll be allowed to work in Norway, just like in any other country. In Norway, you'll be allowed to work 20 hours per week. The 20 hours per week, you are allowed to work on campus and off campus. So, majority of the jobs around Norway, as a student, will be getting around 15 euro. You can, let's talk in terms of dollars. Let's say you get between $14 to $18. But it will depend. I don't want to say that whenever you go there, you'll be getting $18, $20 job as a student. You might get 15, you might get $13. So let's go to do like on a monthly basis or per hour. Let's say you get $13. Let's not be too up on yourself. So if you are getting $13 per week, you are working 20 hours. So per month, you are working 80 hours per month. That is about $1,040. That is the amount you will be able to have. So if you have $1,040 on a monthly basis, let's say they take the tax and all deductions, you are going to remain with $900 per month or $850. The $850 to $1,000, that is enough money for a student to live in most of the cities in Norway. You are living as a student. You are not going to live as a rich person as your life is there. So, despite already you deposit that money, you will still be able to survive in Norway without any problem. So even if you borrow the 80,000 and the 4,000 is yours to have 12,000, you pay the rest, you will be able to start the life with 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000 to start with. And with the job you are going to have, you will be able to cater all the expenses and be able to survive in Norway. When I came to America, my first scholarship to cover everything was $1,200. And I used that money and I remained with extra. As long as you are going to cook yourself, as long as you find where they sell the big deals, good things like what time is the time of the sale, where are the things which are affordable, maybe the things are going to expire tomorrow, today the date will be very, very cheap. Don't go and start buying things on season. Find when it is on sales. When the winter is going to end, summer is going to start, buy the winter clothing. So there are so many ways on how you can be able to buy. When you are going to buy the second-hand clothing or all these things, you'll be able to save a lot. So that's how you'll be able to do the life in Norway. What about if you finish the studies? So here is something you need to consider. When you go to Norway, even if the programs are taught in English language, remember the first time will be given like this 3 months to 6 months, just like the basic Norwegian language, so that you can be able to go out into the street, ask for water, buy some few things, communicate with the local people. But if down the road you want to work there, obviously most of the jobs you'll be working to serve the people who are Norwegian, you have to know the language. So most of the jobs, they require you to know language at this proficiency at a certain level. That is the difference if you are in the English-speaking country like US or Canada, half of the Canada, or you're going to England or Australia or New Zealand, because already you speak English. So some people have known, some of my friends, what they do, they're in Norway, they decided to study to become academician, to study. They went there for masters, they finished, they did PhD, and they remain teaching at the university, which they don't need to know a lot of Norwegian because they are teaching in college or universities in English programs which are taught in English. So that is another technique people are using. But if you wanted to, and there are some people who are in science, they might not require more about Norwegian, because if you're web design, whatever, all those kind of things, you don't need to know a lot of Norwegian, is just the more practical. But if, let's say, you are a social worker, how is a social worker without knowing the language, and you want to communicate, helping people in the social needs, they come to the office. So if your aim is at the end of the day to remain in Norway after studies, you have from day one to invest, you have to focus, you have to pay attention on knowing the language. You have to interact more with the locals, practice your Norwegian, so that once the time comes, you take the Norwegian proficiency test, you'll be good to go. With your education there, you can be able to get a good job, and you'll be able down the road to get the residence of Norway. I know a lot about Norway because it was one among the countries I liked a lot, and even though my dream was to come to America, but I knew it is difficult for me to come direct to America, so my goal was to go to Norway or to go to Netherlands. So I knew all programs in Norway, in Netherlands, and other countries in Europe I'll be talking about. But because I knew I would go there first, at that time they used to have what they call quota scheme scholarship. Unfortunately, that scholarship is not there. So there are very few limited scholarships, but this is not about scholarship. This is automatically free tuition and fees. You are going to cover the cost of living. So as a parent, as a student, don't waste your time to pay to, let's say I want to do bachelor degree, I want to do master's degree. You are going to pay $25,000 in the US to get master's degree. Why can't you go to study in Norway for free? There's no tuition. You just cover 10, 12,000 just for living expenses. You don't have a stress. I know sometimes when we talk about US, Canada, England, whatever, sometimes we talk with so much passion. Don't you feel that Norway or Scandinavian countries are less? No. Western countries are more or less the same. And the majority of people in Norway, Scandinavian, over there, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, they have more better life, social life, than people in the United States. They are smaller countries with a good taxing system, with a good social system, with good benefits, more than here. Better than here. So yes, there are certain things of being in the greatest country like United States, but trust me, if you really want to go other countries, why are you going to pay for masters in your own country? In the end, you're going to use $5,000 in your own masters in your own country. Why can't you increase it, find another 5,000 to go to Norway and study masters in the best country, in the best education, best lifestyle, best experience? If you go back to your home country, you are going to take your work experience and exposure to the next level. I'm encouraging you to think about study for free in Norway. I'm not saying this one because I'm sponsored by Norway country. No, nobody government knows me. I'm just saying this one as a person who knows all these things, but also who wants you to succeed, who wants you to find ways which are legal to go to one country and which are legal to succeed in those countries. If you come here, someone tells you, oh, just find the money. If you go and the people tell you or lie to you that, oh, if you go to these countries, you go like in America, you'll be able to study and work and get the money for work, pay for school fees. Remember, you'll be paid for tuition, fees, and living expenses if you come to America. But if you go to Norway, you don't worry about tuition. You'll be just working for extra money, working for living expenses only. You don't need to worry about tuition. Just like most of the assistantships in the US are. Assistantships in the US are like this way. You get admitted at the university, bachelor, mostly master's or PhD, then you don't pay tuition, and then the department gives you a job to work 20 hours per week. They give you 1,000 or 2,000 or 1,500. That's how US is. So why can't you go to Norway? They don't pay for tuition and fees, and you are allowed to work 20 hours per week to get the same 1,000 or 1,500. It is the same thing. But here we say, oh, I got a full ride in Norway, in the US assistantship. Yes, you are assisting, you are working 20 hours per week, a guaranteed job. But in Norway, you have a work permit. Go and find a work. So don't just all the time target, all you have to go to the United States. You can go to Norway, my friend. And then if your dream is to come to America while you are in Norway, then apply to US. If your dream is to go to Australia while you are in Norway, go to Australia. If your dream to go to Canada, that you can move from there to Canada. If you want to go to England, you can move from there. The dream of Cristiano Ronaldo, since as a child in a small town of Madeira in Portugal, was to play for Real Madrid. But he could not just jump from Madeira, Portugal, direct to Real Madrid. He had to go from there. He went to Sporting Lisbon, from Sporting Lisbon to Manchester, did a fantastic job. Then he had to go to his dream life to Real Madrid, later to Juventus. Now he's back to Manchester. But he had to go somewhere first. So don't say, like, my dream is to go to this country. Go to Norway. You might be surprised. You might like Norway, not even think about coming to America, not even think about going to Canada, not even think about to go to other countries for what you might be able to find in Norway. As long as you have the drive to learn the language or to focus more about working in academic institution, you'll be doing the very fine job. So think about that, especially if you want to pay for your own education. The money you are having at the beginning is just the show off, but it has to be in the Norwegian account. While you are there, you'll be working just like how you get assistantship in the US. And your life will be much, much better. So trust me, studying in Norway for free is the way to go. Just go to the Google search, say study in Norway. Or go to studynorway.no. You'll be able to find it. Is it public education, public university, not private. Is it free of charge? Whether you are Norwegian, Nigerian, Tanzanians, Kenyan, Ugandan, Rwandan, someone from Yugoslavia, someone from US, someone from Australia, whatever it is, it's free of charge. They don't charge anybody to study there. So take the opportunity. Don't waste the time. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video. If you have any question with Norway, this is extended version, let me know. Especially for bachelor's degree, programs which are taught in English are going to be in this video, on the description and on the comment. All the best, everyone. Again, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM, from Belton, Missouri, United States of America.